One of the first things we'll learn to do in statistics is exploring data. This gives us different ways to visualize and analyze data so that we can see what trends are available. So first let's look at graphical representations of data. For these, we won't need to calculate anything. We'll just look at different ways to convert a list of numbers like we see here into a visual representation that will help us better understand the data. The first of these that we'll look at is what's called the stem and leaf plot. This type of way of representing data will put all of the tens on one side of the line. Those will be the stem, and all of the ones on the right side of the line. Those will be our leaves. So in this example here, we have a list of ages for people that belong to an AARP group. Let's put these in a stem and leaf plot and see if we can see any trends. So first, we will start with a line. On the left of this line, we'll go all of our tens places, the stem, and on the right, our ones places, the leaves. So first, let's go through our numbers and see what tens places that we have. What's important to note here is, even if a tens is skipped, that is, there aren't any values there, we'll still include the number. So we start with 41, that's a 4. We see we have 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to 90s. So we'll put those values in. The 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and our 90s. Next, we can put in our leaves. The numbers are already arranged for us in numerical order, but if they weren't, that's where we would start, because we want these numbers to be in order that they appear. All right, so we start with 41. Now we have 52, so the 5 is already there. We'll just put the 2. 57 and 58. Then we have 65 and 66. For 70, we'll put in a 0. 75, 78, 78, 78. If there's repeats, we'll put each value in. 80, another 80, and finally 95. So just from looking at our stem and leaf plot, we see that there's a clear peak in the 70s. And specifically that the most common number is 78. In a future video, we'll learn the specific terms for these, but the stem and leaf plot helps us truly see what the data looks like. We also see the range here, that our smallest number is 41 and our largest number is 95. Another way to visualize the same set of data is with a dot plot. A dot plot starts out with a number line, and we'll simply put dots above each value that's shown. So here we'll just put in our tens values to make it easier to see. So 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. We could show the ones ticks as well, but it would get a little busy, so we'll just do rough estimates here. So above 41, we'll put a dot, then above 52, 57, and 58, then above 65 and 66, then above 70, and 75, 78. Now 78 repeats, so the next dot will go above the other dot, and again above. So we see that we have 3 values at 78. For 80, we have 2 values, and finally for 95. Like the stem and leaf plot, the dot plot allows us to see the range and the spread of our data. We also again see that we have multiple values at 78, and in fact, that's our most common number in this spread of data. So these were 2 straightforward ways of exploring data using a stem plot and a dot plot. They allow us to very quickly get a visual grasp of the range and of the spread and frequency of our data. In future videos, we'll go into more precise ways to not only calculate these different values, but also look at different graphical representations.